Zoom, one of the best in the nation, okay? If not the best. So glad to see you all here, and I just can't thank you enough. I think we may be streaming live on Facebook right
Facebook
now.
and Facebook and YouTube. I'm actually setting it up right now. Matter of fact, I'm just trying to stall just a little bit just so I can make sure that everything is working correctly. But yes, best believe that we will be streaming tonight, so you can go ahead and continue because we are live.
All righty. If you still need time to invite some friends, this is the key to growing your business. Get them to come on the Zoom call. But first, let me just tell you, I've got to introduce you to a guy that I met almost a year ago. And I tell you, he is the guy. He calls me Your Highness. I call him Your Majesty. He is definitely, he is so much an expert when it comes to production. He's a musician. He's very smart. TikTok, if you want to go on TikTok, check out John Voyage, okay? Check out John Voyage on TikTok. He's awesome. But let me tell you my story real quick. I was overweight. I was diabetic, pre-diabetic, um, aching all over my body, my hip, my leg, my back, my knees. I was looking at having to have a hip replacement. My doctor gave me a shot. He said, "You'll be back in 6 months." I haven't been back. I have not been back, and I've shed
Wow.
40 pounds. I would stand
Wow.
up and let y'all really get a good look, but you have to go to my Facebook page and get the good look. But I'm so proud to say that I am not in pain and I'm not on any pain medication. I have dropped 40 pounds and I'm not on a diet. I am dropping where my A1C number was a 6.5, it's at 6.0. So much other, the energy, there's a lot going on, and it's because of one thing that we will be talking about tonight. So that's enough about me. Let me tell you about a guy. He is something else. He's our presenter tonight. He has positioned himself where money is no longer an issue. And when I grow up, I want to be just like him, okay? He loves to help people, and he is a lot of fun to be around. I tell you, most of all, he knows all the facts about this business. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce to some and present to others the one and the only one, Mr. John Voyage and John Hilliard.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Your Royal Highness. Thank you. I always appreciate her introductions, man. It makes me want to go out and meet myself one day. I mean, wow. All right, welcome everybody. I would do want to thank you for coming on and joining us tonight. Go ahead and send out those last minute invitations. It's not too late to join in to get some of this information, this powerful information that can really change your life. Before I get started, I just want to give one last shout out to my team. I have My team is growing, and I have like the most wonderful team in the world. We got all of our new partners, our new distributors online with us tonight. I definitely want to welcome them in and give them a public welcome. Pastor Barbara Pierce. Where is the names? I'm looking for everybody. Carolyn Thomas. She's here with her husband, James Thomas. And also a lady who just tickled me to death last night while we were getting her signed up, Miss Natasha Moore. Right. Definitely glad
Hey.
to see our new partners on the Zoom tonight with us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Just give me one moment here. I'll get this.
Welcome back, Yolanda Garcia.
Yeah, Yoli. Always happy to see Yoli. I saw Yoli in Houston. She surprised the mess out of me. I'm like, what, Yoli? All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, can everybody see my screen yet? No? Not just yet? Let's see.
Not yet, John.
Okay, how about now?
There we go.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, some very powerful information that has really changed my life. And I'm going to start by sharing my personal story. All right. If everyone that I set up as a host can please watch the door, I'd really appreciate it while I go through the presentation. All right. So I'm a truck driver. I've been driving trucks for almost 21 years now, and it's been like 21 years of almost consistent weight gain. And I was a big guy when I started. I was always that happy-go-lucky guy, the entertainer, the big teddy bear. Everyone just always happy to see me come around. Hey, there's John. Hey, and even though I was always smiling on the outside, deep down inside, I was hurt. I was in pain. Brain fog, leaky guts, and looking at other people in my family dealing with diabetes and how they were just taking care of around those pill bottles labeled Sunday through Saturday. I didn't want to be like that. Other truck drivers, talk about being diabetic and having high blood pressure. I didn't want that either. I knew I had to do something. So I came across these products that we're going to talk about tonight, and it really changed my life. And I've been documenting my journey ever since day one. And this video that you're about to watch right now pretty much tells my story. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the video speak for itself. This is how it was, y'all.
Everyone has seen this picture. Yeah, that's all 373.6 pounds of me. Truck driving definitely takes a toll on your health. Achy joints, out of breath just walking to the building, tired all the time, brain fog, waking up with headaches every morning. I knew I had to do something, but everything that I had tried in the past just wasn't working. So I heard about the Feel Great system and decided to give it a try. Hey, what did I have to lose? They say there's a 90-day money-back guarantee, so I decided to give it a shot. Okay, here we go. Tastes good. Well, after being on the system without dieting and no exercise, here's what I look like now. About 100 pounds down and still dropping. Now what are you waiting on? Here's the info to get started.
All right. Yeah. I look at that video, I'm like, man, I was huge. But yeah, that was me. So I was caught up in what I call the truck driver trade. And you talk to any truck driver, they deal with something, the same thing. They might call it something else, but it's the same thing. Truck driver trade-off. What is that? It's where you really never seem to have enough time to spend with friends and family because you're always gone, you're always out on the road. Okay, and even though truck driving can be a very good job, you can make some decent money at it. Again, ask any truck driver, they'll tell you the same thing. When those wheels are not rolling, you're not making any money, right? But more importantly than any of that, my health, my weight had become a major, major concern in my life. I mean, I was a big guy when I started, and I was just, on average, constantly just getting bigger, just expanding. Now everyone here is not a truck driver. I understand that. But think about your own lifestyles, your own daily routine. Some of you too are probably, just going nonstop from sun up to sundown. So let me just ask you this one last question. If you had all the time and all the money in the world, it'd be pretty difficult to enjoy without great health. Would you all agree with that? Raise your hand if you agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that too. And, just focusing back on truck drivers, it's a very, very stressful occupation. Traffic, weather, construction. I deal with it every day for up to 11 hours a day. It's long, odd hours. Everyone else is working 8 to 5, for 40 hours a week. Truck drivers, we can work, drive one day during the day, drive the next day overnight for up to 11 hours. We got 14 hours to get it done, 70 hours during the week. It's some very, very strange hours. And I haven't even touched on the food yet. Fast food at every corner. It's all over the place. Sometimes you got to grab and go. It's not impossible to maintain a healthy diet out here, but you got to get creative. It's not the easiest thing in the world. All right. I'm going to ask Miss Barbara Pierce, if she would, to come share some disturbing facts. And listen to this, y'all. Really.
Okay, sure. So here are a few disturbing facts, right? High blood pressure and cholesterol levels are at an all-time high. And over 100 million adults in the U.S. are currently dealing with diabetes and pre-diabetes. Heart disease has become the #1 killer in the world, and childhood obesity is growing at a disturbing rate. Now, would you believe that it's a problem? Raise your hand. It's a problem if we hear all that, right? So let me tell you, One major reason for this serious health problem is the modern day food environment, which is causing most people today to suffer from something called insulin resistance. Here are a few signs of insulin resistance, and here's a picture that is showing, right? Skin tags, right? That looks like moles on you. Those are skin tags. That comes from insulin resistance. Dark circles around the neck make it look like you haven't been washing your neck, and that comes from insulin resistance. Feeling constantly hungry or feeling tired after eating. You get really lazy, right? Heart and belly fat, or inability to lose weight. Craving for sugary and salty foods, migraines and aches and pains, as Miss Rashida was talking a little earlier. Now, so are you or someone know that you know are dealing with these signs? If so, raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you're dealing with any of those signs. All right.
That's right. Raise your hand if you're dealing with any of those signs.
Raise your hand if you're dealing with any of those. Thank you very much, Pastor.
There you go. There you go.
Everybody give me a big hand. That was the first time I'm going through the script, y'all.
The answer.
You did wonderful. Wonderful.
Wait a minute. I'm not finished. The answer could be simple, right? Get rid of insulin resistance and you'll get rid of most of your health problems.
All right.
Amen. Fantastic.
Very good, Barbara.
Thank you.
All right. Love it. All right. Now I'm going to ask Miss, the Royal Highness Queen Rashida to come on and up and tell us about the company.
All right. Thank you so much, John. The name of our company is Unicity International. This is their newest facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. Formerly known as Rexall Drugs, Unicity was founded in 2001 when Rexall merged with Enrich International. In 2006, top Unicity distributor, Mr. Stuart Hughes, who has over 3 decades of experience, became the CEO and owner of the company. Now, under his leadership, Unicity has become totally debt-free and is also recognized as one of the top 500 privately held companies in the United States. We're currently doing business in over 60 countries and support over 20 languages worldwide. Unicity's sole mission is to make life better. Unicity holds a very strong position within the wellness industry, which is on track to becoming a $1 trillion industry over the next 8 to 10 years and is predicted to create 10 million new millionaires. We are Unicity International. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you very, very much. Now, that brings up another very, very interesting question. $1 trillion. I'm just curious. Who would like a slice of that $1 trillion pie? I'm not, just break me off a million or two. Just between
break me out 5.
Break off 5. As Mr. Williams says. All right, great. Thank you, Mr. Rashida. Okay, so let's get on back to the topic. This is our flagship product now. This is the Feel Great system. And it consists of 2 very, very powerful food-based products. There's a Unimate tea and Unicity Balance when coupled with time-based eating. Hey, you can get rid of insulin resistance. And as Pastor Pierce said, if you can get rid of insulin resistance, you can get rid of most health problems. I'm going to ask Mr. Williams to talk about the Unimate, if you would, please.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to tell you about the flagship product called the Feel Great system. Now, the product consists of 2 powerful food-based products, Unimate tea and the Unicity Balance. First up is the Unicity Unimate tea. This tea helps you feel great all day. It boosts your mood and physical performances. It also boosts mental clarity, helps with brain fog, and it supports your mental health. Fantastic tea, y'all. Now, it suppresses hunger and cravings for sugary and salty things, gives you a 10 times more feel-good elements found in a typical cup of coffee without the crashes or the jitters. It can be enjoyed hot and cold any time of the day. Now, with this tea, we have a 5-step process that we send it through, rigorous 5 steps. We handpick the leaves. We fire roast it. We extract it, concentrate it in a purification from the farm to the manufacturer to your sack it to your bottle. Thank you, John.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. All right. Now, I love the Unimate, and there's been so many clinical studies going on. I mean, just look at some of these. Strength increased by 13% in aerobic exercise. Clinical studies show that psychological well-being increases by about 20% after taking Unimate. That's because of all the chlorogenic acid in there. I mean, you can find yerba mate in some health food stores, but Unimate has 375 times more chlorogenic acid than any regular yerba mate drink. And it even has more chlorogenic acid than what you'll find in a typical cup of coffee. And that chlorogenic acid is that feel-good component, reason why people like coffee so much. These cholesterol numbers, LDLs, triglyceride, HDLs, I mean, all of those improved. Even A1C levels, went down just after taking Unimate by 3%. And we all love, weight reduction. Hip circumference, all that went down by 7%, waist circumference by 10%, and even an almost 5% reduction in weight in kilograms. I mean, that's just with the Unimate, but that's only one part of the Feel Great system. The other part is the balance, all right? Now, the balance is more than just a fiber, okay? It's a pre-meal drink that's when mixed with water and taken right before you eat. It provides critical fiber and support, all right? It slows down the digestion of carbs, promotes healthy blood, glucose, insulin, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. It also has a 7X technology, plus the fiber matrix, which provides 8 different strands of fiber that cause you to feel full for a very, very long time. Snacking stops, craving stops, all of that, fall down to a stop. How many people can testify to that?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Look at this chart with the supplements. It contains the vitamin complex. This provides you with all of the daily vitamins and minerals. And it also helps to balance out your gut health. It helps get rid of unwanted body fat, all right? Now, when you don't have balance, as exhibited by this chart on the left, you'll notice that the lines, that represents your glucose spike, okay? You have a big spike, especially when you have a lot of carbohydrates, all right? And before too long, because everything is up so high, it falls down. You start experiencing that crash, which triggers more hunger. Okay, it doesn't allow you to burn your fat for fuel. You're always hungry. You always have those cravings, and you get to be a little bit irritable. All that comes from just in what's in our modern day food environment, y'all. Talking about this irritability. My parents raised me to be a nice, respectable young man, clean mouth and everything like that. I was known in high school as that kid that never cussed. Then I became a truck driver, and an insulin-resistant truck driver at that. And I ain't gonna lie, some choice words began to creep up into my vocabulary, all from that irritability. But then I got on the Feel Great system, and all that went back to the way it was. See, with the balance, you don't get that big high insulin spike. All right, you're able to burn fat easier. Hunger's controlled, cravings are controlled. Plus, you have a lot of energy. It's sustainable energy. All right, and that's all with the balance. Now, here's how things are done at university. We have our own dedicated in-house scientists and specialists. We don't outsource anything. Okay, everything is done in-house. There's also third-party certifications. All right, these organizations that you see listed on here, 3 of them are sports agencies. Okay, the NSF, the Clone List, Informed Choice. They represent professional athletes who aren't going to put just anything into their body. They trust these products, you can too. And these products are also listed along with 16 other products in the medical PDR. This is an FDA-approved publication that doctors and pharmacists use to look up medications to see what they do, how they interact with each other, and also what side effects they may exhibit. Feel Great system has no side effects. None. You can look it up. Tell your doctor to look them up. Yeah, tell your doctor that you're on the Feel Great system. We're not doctors. Most of us aren't. But tell your doctor, and they will look it up and see that it is in there. So see what all is in it. There's been clinical studies done by leading hospitals and universities, BYU, Cleveland Clinic, UNLV. I mean, these are like top institutions. Sydney University, for example, is the home of the glycemic index, okay? They've did studies on this, and it shows that with the balance, glycemic impact is greatly reduced when you take a balance before your meals, right? Columbia University, University of Connecticut, the Cleveland Clinic even went so far as to say that such a product, if taken regularly, can lower cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and or dose of lipid-lowering prescription drugs. That is the #1 heart hospital in the world. Heart disease is the leading cause of death. The way I interpret that, if everyone was on this, heart disease would cease to be the leading cause of death worldwide. These products are patented, as Mr. Williams stated, and the ingredients are sourced directly from the farmers. Here's how you take the tea. Is Ms. Ramirez with us? I'm trying to scroll through to see if I can really see my cursor. Is Marie here? Okay. This is how you take the field grade system. All right. When you get up in the morning, or whenever you start your day, that's when you have your Unimate. Why is that? Well, because you've been fasting all night long. All right. Since the moment you finish your dinner, you haven't eaten anything. So you want to keep that going up to about 12 to 16 hours minimum. All right. Unimate is going to help you do that, as represented by that fire. All right. That's that extra fat burning, that carb burning that's taking place within your body. By the time lunchtime rolls around, you got choices. You might want to keep your fast going. If you can go longer than 16, you're doing even better, because that's more fat burning that's going on. Another Unimate can help you to do that. But if you're going to have a meal, especially if it's a heavily a carb-packed meal, go ahead and have your balance beforehand to lower the glycemic impact that food has on your body. In the evening, you might want to take another balance, or you might want to take another Unimate, okay? Have 1 or 2 meals a day, and then start the process over again the very next day. Over time, that those glucose levels will come down, followed by those insulin levels will come down, and you will become more insulin sensitive as opposed to insulin resistant. One thing that people notice, and Miss Barbara and I were talking about this right before the Zoom started, you start saving a whole lot of money on this system. Look at some of these comments that have rolled in: $200, $500 a month savings on groceries. Medications are reduced, antidepressants, insulin, high blood pressure medications go down. I mean, there's even a comment from accountant, and you know they know how to budget. They even see the cost savings from being on the system. All right. These products, like I said, are in the medical PDR. There's been scientifically proven to get rid of insulin resistance, and if you can get rid of insulin resistance, you can get rid of most health problems. They taste great, and they're safe for children as well as lactating mothers. The system is unique, unmistakable, and simply impossible to duplicate. Does all that make sense, everybody? Raise your hand if all that makes sense. All right, great. Yes. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and we are going to open the floor up for testimonies and questions. And, we also want to continue to welcome our guests. If we do have any other guests that we haven't spoken to already, feel free to turn on your camera, unmute yourselves, and let's get it going. The floor is yours.
Yes, this is Pastor Barbara, and I definitely want to thank Reverend Killingsworth. He's on here, church here in Fort Worth, Providence Church. He's on here for the first time. We're trying to see if we can, if he would host a tea for us in our vicinity. So he's on here, and I want to thank him so much for being here. And I think I have somebody here on the iPhone also.
Welcome. Does anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions, Pastor?
Still be alive.
All right. Anybody want to share any testimonies, or anybody else have any guests to welcome, or any questions?
Well, John, if I may, I have some guests here, and I'm very proud and very happy and thankful that they were able to come on tonight. Besides my two newest partners, Barbara Pierce, thank you again, Barbara, and my newest partners, Miss Carolyn Thomas. Carolyn and her husband on TJ, the DJ. And then Elaine is on board tonight. Thank you, Elaine, for coming. Catherine Luke is on. Also, two new people are on. Sharon Miles from Phoenix City. I love they have an organization, and I remember years ago they would say each one reach one. So I quoted it to her the other day, and I reached out. She reached back, so she's on board tonight. And not not to leave this lady out. We were in radio together. Beautiful sister. She's up in the Atlanta area. Shar Marshall. Shar is changing faces from within. Thank you all for coming on and as my guest tonight. If you got any questions, now's the time to ask. Thank you, John.
All right.
I don't have a question, but I have a
Sir.
testimony. I've been on this system for about 6 weeks, and the only side effects that I have from it, that it makes me sleep real good.
Thank you, John. All right, TJ.
Right. Love hearing that. You do sleep better once you get on these products. That is for sure. I can definitely testify to that. Right.
Thank you,
Hey,
TJ.
John,
Yes, sir.
can you take this product with your medication?
Definitely. Not only can you take it, but we encourage it. And I'm going to go ahead and spotlight Nurse Devanya Crawford to go and expand on that if she would. You're live.
There we go. Okay.
Hey,
Hi,
Lavana.
everyone. It has a thing, unmute. Okay. You can hear me now.
Mhm.
So yes, you can take this product with your medicines. It's only plants and fruits and vegetables. If you can eat an apple, orange, banana, it's totally safe. If you're on blood thinners, aspirin, Plavix, Erlinta, anticoagulants is safe to take. There's no contraindications. If you're on immunosuppressant medications, like you had a heart transplant or organ transplant, yes, you can take these products. We have members that are on the system that's on anticoagulants, the blood thinners, and also on immunosuppressant medications. So just do your numbers, check your blood pressure, your blood sugar numbers, take them into your doctor, pull it up on the PDR, that's the prescriber's digital reference. Let them see what the Feel Great system is. It's all natural. It's there where they can read it and they can see for themselves.
Right.
Right.
Thank you, Nurse Crawford. Man, it looks like she's lost even some more weight. Something like that. All right. Your Highness, definitely. You have a question. You have something to say.
I just want to ask Nurse Crawford to elaborate a little bit on if a person is on Ozempic. Because I did have one customer that didn't tell me she was on Ozempic until well into her first month's supply. And she was saying just the opposite of everybody else. Most of the people get on the system right away, they see energy. Their energy level is just boosted. But this lady was saying, oh, it's taking all of my energy. I don't have any energy. And at first I was like perplexed about that because I'm trying to figure everybody else is saying it gives energy. Nurse Crawford, is there something with the Ozempic and the Feel Great that may be like bumping heads, or what would you say about that? And I know we don't tell people to stop taking their medication, but when it's Ozempic, what can we say?
Well, remember, Ozempic is a GLP-1, right? It's going to synthetically totally suppress your appetite where you're absolutely not going to have any appetite, but it's going to force the glucose over into the cell. And it creates more fat cells. So the Feel Great system is the yerba mate tea is going to help your stomach naturally by 60 to 70%. Create your own natural GLP-1 to naturally suppress your appetite. So the Feel Great system gives your body energy, gives your cells energy when you are fasting, right? And you're not eating, your body's going through that detox repair, right? Ozempic on the flip side is creating more little fat carriages, more little fat cells for that glucose to go and store into. So they're really not creating real true energy for their body. They're just suppressing the appetite. But what this system does, when you wake up, you're fasting, the body is detoxing, repairing while you're fasting, right? So when you're fasting, your body's creating energy for the cells. The cells, when you eat your food, is converted into calories. The cell is able to get the nutrients from that cell and use it for energy for your body to propel you. Okay. So this is not just about weight loss. This is cellular health.
Thank you.
All right. Ozempic is synthetic injection that's man-made, that totally shuts down, suppresses your appetite, stops your gut from even moving and propelling, right? Gastroparesis.
Okay. Thank
Fantastic.
you so much. Thank
I
you.
hope that explains
Oh,
it
yeah,
a little bit.
it does.
I wanna, I
I
wanna,
know
I
what
wanna
you're saying
take
now.
Okay.
I want to take a little pause and just acknowledge that there are like 26 people on here.
Yeah.
I think this is like one of the largest Zooms that we've ever hosted, at least one that I've ever hosted. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. And I want to point out that we do these just about every night of the week. Invite people to the Zooms. As a matter of fact, right after this one, Nurse Crawford is going to be leading her own Zoom meeting at the top of the hour. And let's see what's up here. I'm going to share my screen again. And feel free to take a screenshot of this. These are all of our Zoom meetings throughout the week. Okay. So we definitely do this for convenience, right? So invite people. If you're on the Feel Great system, if you get on the Feel Great system, first of all, get back with the person that invited you so that you can go ahead and get started on the system. And then when the next Zoom meeting comes around, invite somebody, because that's going to not only get them on the system and get them on the path towards improving their health, but it's going to help you to save money off the cost of your system, for making the referral. All right, so definitely invite people to these Zooms. All right, I see one hand raised. I'll get to that question in a second. But first, I want to go ahead and allow Ms. Crawford to expand upon what's going to happen at the top of the hour.
Thanks, John. So come back at 7 o'clock, invite 3 friends, family members, co-workers. Everybody needs to hear about the amazing Feel Great system, because it really is changing people's lives and just giving you the power, the control to change the narrative of your health. You don't have to be sick and stuck on medications. There's a natural plant-based way, and we're all doing it. We're all doing it. You have receipts here. So just come partner up with us and come back at 7 o'clock, where you can hear more information about the amazing Feel Great system. So let's go, baby. Come on, 7 o'clock. Share the link.
All right.
John, may I jump in here? Please don't think that Nurse Crawford is out of her mind talking about 7 o'clock. She's out in California, okay?
Yeah, that is Pacific time, everybody. Do the math on it. Yes, Tina, you have a question.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I do have a question. Actually, a couple of them. Okay, because I want to make sure that I have a good understanding. So, when you take the balance, let's just say I have a protein and 2 vegetables, low carb vegetables. Do you still need to take the balance?
For every meal. Yeah.
I would say yes. I would. However, if you're getting the system that consists of 2 boxes of Unimate and 1 box of Balance, then that's a meal that's going to have a very low glycemic impact on your blood sugar. You've got protein and fiber. Okay, both of those are going to impact your blood sugar, very, very minimally. Okay, you definitely want to take your balance before a meal that's high in carbohydrates.
Right.
Okay. Now, all of that being said, I know myself, and I don't trust the food system. I'm going to take a balance before I put anything in my mouth. Again, if you're on the system that we call 2.0, that consists of 2 boxes of Unimate and 1 box of Balance, and you want to switch that around, let your sponsor know. Okay, we can get into the back office or get on the phone with Unicity and change your order so that you do get 1 box of Unimate and 2 boxes of Balance. Doing it like that, you can take a balance 1 before each meal for 2 meals a day.
Okay. And also, you remember when I discussed with you that every time I take the tea, my stomach is just constantly growling like I'm hungry. And so I still been keeping a record of that, and it still consistently happens every time I take the tea.
just continue to trust the system. It'll work itself out.
Okay. I mean, I'm still doing it, but I mean, just I keep asking myself, why is this happening? Because at first I thought maybe it was just me, but yeah, every morning, I guess maybe like 30 minutes into drinking it, my stomach is growling.
How fast do you drink? Are you sipping on it, or are you like drinking it all at one time? Sipping on it?
No.
Okay, good.
You know what I did there by accident, and I started feeling real funny. So I having some, I don't know, it was just some weird feelings that I was,
Definitely
I
want to
mean,
take it slowly.
feelings I was having. So no, I've been sipping it, but it still
And
makes me feel
you
bad.
can't have more than one unit mate in a day.
Right.
Mhm.
How much water are you using?
Well, yeah, and I want
I have my bottle. I have my bottle, so I'm following
20.
uh
Yeah.
the line on my bottle.
increase
Yeah.
your water intake, and also, I'm wondering about how many vitamins you're taking too. I see Miss Crawford has her hand up again.
Yeah.
To expand on that, I'm assuming.
When you
Okay.
first start off the morning in a tea and you get that little indigestion or something in your gut, you can front load with like maybe just a half a pack of balance and feed your microbiomes in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a
Okay.
little bit more support. Don't do like a whole pack, but do just a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
give yourself have the fiber first and then go into drinking your tea. That usually helps with people with acid reflux, indigestion, or some kind of GI because you got to build up the microbes in your gut.
What
Okay.
about growling though? She says she's hungry.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm hungry.
Well,
Right.
that may help suppress the appetite. So try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many different ways you can do what's going to work for you. So these are just suggestions and see what works for you. It may not work for you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
That's why you have a whole team here to help you. Everybody's going to
And
be different.
I thought
Everybody has their
maybe
own
too
experience.
because I'm drinking water in between, drinking my tea. So I don't know if that's diluting it or what. Maybe I mean that could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to stay fuller, I'm drinking water in between as well.
How long have you been on your system?
I started. When was that? April.
Okay.
No, I started on when was the pop up, John? It was on the 5th, right?
Okay. So you
Oh,
just
so I
get
started
into
on the 6th.
you just get into it. Just trust the system, trust the process.
Oh, I am, because I've been
Okay.
losing.
All right. Just keep going, sis. Maybe just add in a little bit of fiber first to give
Okay.
you a little bit more support.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
How do you
All right, let's go ahead and keep things going here. We definitely want to make sure that we're respecting everyone's time.
okay.
So I pointed out that we do these every night of the week. On Saturdays, we talk about the business side of the field care system. Yes, there is a business side. Okay. So, I mean, we're trying to get these products into the hands of everybody, and despite what social media might lead you to believe, hardly anybody knows about these products. Okay, so please screenshot this and consider joining this collaboration to help get these products into everybody's hands. The Saturday meeting starts at 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 8 Mountain, 9 Central, and 10 Eastern. Someone out here about the business, how you can actually supplement your income or even replace your income. I know some people who would like to replace their income.
Me and Ed were first found by it.
I know that's right. Okay, so I mean, let me just ask everybody a question. How many people do you know dealing with just diabetes? This chart right here shows the burden of diabetes just in Texas. Okay, there are so many people that need a field grade system, and it's all due to insulin resistance. And we can't reach everybody. Those of us that are already on it, we can't reach everybody. But you can. There are people that you know that we can't reach. So by joining us, you can help us to reach those people, and we can achieve our goal of getting these into the hands of many. We're starting out with just 1%, but many people across the country and across the world. Okay, people with high blood pressure, people that need to lose weight. I think we can all answer yes to that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So when you join us, we're going to introduce you to our strategy that we call Run to Play. All right. Now, again, get back with the person that invited you to start to go ahead and order the system, and you'll be well on your way to doing step 1 of that strategy. That's to use the product. as you use the product, you're going to develop a story. Okay, everybody has a story. No more pain in your hips from inflammation is a story. Losing weight is a story. Versus diabetes, lowering your A1C, all of that is a story. Okay, and somebody needs to hear that story. Step 2 of this process is to share your story with at least 2 people and get them on the product. Do this each month. At least 2 people per month. That's not a big hill to climb. Okay. Now, let's talk about money. Not only do we have a health problem, we have a wealth problem in the country. Okay. Most people aren't ready in case there's a $1,000 emergency pops up. Not only that, but a lot of people are not exposed to the stock market. Okay. Stock market is a great wealth building tool. And, just a little bit over half of the country has any direct exposure to it. You might have exposure through your job, but how many people have exposure directly to it? Hardly, definitely not most of the country. So when you come into the Feel Great System community, you're going to start out with 10 boxes that you're able to sell. You get $25 for each box. Do the math on that. That comes out to $250. Now, that's not a whole lot of money, but I wouldn't mind an extra $250 a month. How about you?
Yeah.
Would I like an extra $250?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would turn it down? Nobody?
No.
Nobody
so
turn it around.
Nobody gonna turn
again,
it.
you get 10 systems. All right. You can sell all 10, keep one for yourself, sell the other 9, use one as a sample pack, sample that out. All right. When you sign up, even as just a customer, you get your own personalized web link. That's going to get you the referrals. But when you come in as a partner, those 10 people that you sell your system to, those become your customers that you're going to earn that money off of. And most distributors are able to maintain at least 10 customers each month. A lot of them are able to get more, and there's nothing wrong with getting more. It just means more money. But everybody on average is able to keep 10. Let's see what happens if you have, let's see what an extra $250 can do for you each month. All right. If you just set it aside, just set it on your mattress or in a jar, see how much money you can potentially make. Okay. An extra $2,000. All right. By putting
Say again, John.
Lost him. Where's John? Rashida, you can take over.
John. Well, if you could make $250 every month in 12 months, you have made yourself $3,000. And that's just getting one partner. And maybe if you add in the 2 customers, get 2 people to try it, that's another $50. So now we're looking at $300 times 12. You just made $3,600. And we're just talking getting 2 people to try it and 1 partner. Some people can be on a roll, like I'm thinking Barbara Pierce is on a roll. She's getting, she may have 3 or 4 customers in 1 month. Anything can happen because people loving what they're hearing about our product. They want to try it. A lot of them go jump right on in and decide that they want to do the business. So like John said, get back with the person that brought you. Come on every Zoom that you can make it to. Call up the person that got you involved. Listen to what's being said. Go to the Facebook page and YouTube. You'll see a recording of this Zoom and other Zooms. And we're trying to get the word out. So if everybody is okay, we want to be mindful of our time. Don't forget Nurse Crawford has a meeting at the top of the hour. There's some real quick, any mega meetups anywhere coming up this weekend or next weekend?
Yes.
Who has one?
Miss Lorraine?
Yeah, Lorraine does. I don't know if she's in here. Sacramento's this weekend.
Okay.
12 o'clock noon, and then somebody else's. Ours is Sunday with everybody.
Aurelia have one.
Aurelia.
Oh, yeah, Aurelia. That's right. Yeah, down in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Atlanta, I think.
So my new people and all the new people are here. As you can see, Miss Catherine is in Ohio, Miss Cynthia is in Florida, John is in Houston sometimes. So
He's
is
everywhere.
Barbara Pierce in Texas and Georgia. We are trying to get this out around the country because it's been out for 50 years. It's been away from the United States for 30 years, and it just got here in 2021. So we need your help. Please help us spread the word. If all minds and hearts are clear, we just want to thank you guys again for coming and joining us on the Zoom. Thank you to my guests. And as John would always say, y'all go and feel great. Thank you.
You come right back on 7 o'clock if you want to hear more.
All right, next prophet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, there's John.
I love my team. I don't know what happened. But I'm so glad they're able to keep things going. All right.
Griffin got you. Yeah.
Great. So y'all got everything taken care of?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. 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 I'm definitely gonna go watch the highlight reel on that.
Okay.
I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. If there are any other questions, like I said, we definitely want to be respectful of everybody's time. We're already coming up on the top of the hour. I want to thank everybody for coming on out. Get back with the person that invited you. Until the next time, y'all go and feel great.
I know.
Good night.
Good night. Feel great with the queen. Bye.
Hey,